it, or how does it change the motivation for a game if, considering Bath's record in the Premiership, if you were coming up against a team that had won 9 out of 9, there would be an automatic kind of a build-up and a natural sense. How does it change it when they're playing so poorly or getting very poor results?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, it's more about us than any other team. When we come to Champions Cup, the motivation for Leinster is always about trying to win every game. So it's a cliche, but we will focus very much on ourselves and make sure that we've got our own preparation right. But I know myself, enough players at Bath, I know the coaching staff at Bath, and I know how hard they'll be working behind the scenes to turn around the run of results that they've had. They've had some tight ones. Obviously, they'll be disappointed at the weekend, but they've had some tight ones, and I don't think they're a million miles off. And I know, Stuart Hooper used to be my captain at Leeds, so I know how hard he works, and Neil Hatley. I know them all very well. I know a lot of the players, so they'll be getting our full respect, and we'll prepare as well as we do for any of the Champions Cup opposition. Because for us, we don't want to start the campaign with a poor performance. We want to perform well. We're at the Aviva. We've got our fans coming in good numbers, great numbers, and we want to play well. So it's as simple as that, really.
Have you spoken about that there's no relegation obviously this year, and that in other years, had there been relegation, Bath may not focus as much on a first round European game given the position to find themselves in? Does that play into it at all?
Well, I mean, obviously their approach to the game will be very much dependent on them, but again, they'll be desperate to get a win, anyway, and they'll know that we'll have a good team, so they'll be preparing well. So for them, it's a massive game. For us, it's a massive game because we want to start off the campaign with a really strong performance to build on back last week's performance and get a win. But we know we're going to have to earn that right. And as I said, we did the Connacht review this morning, and we very quickly turned the page to Bath and looked at their key players, their threats, their playing style, the evolution, and we'll prepare 100% properly.
Was your overall when you did the review, was it a game of two halves or a game of 30 minutes and then 50 minutes in terms of what you were pleased with and what you maybe were frustrated with?
Well, I think you've got to give great credit to Connacht. I mean, I don't think people give Connacht the credit they deserve as a team. I think they beat Ulster fair and square. They probably should have won the Munster game, and they are an excellent attacking team. And we had to be at our very best defensively. Certainly, it was hardest defensive challenge of the season by some margin, and it was great credit to them. So. In any game, you never get 100% right all the time. I don't think it was 30 and 50, as you've mentioned, to be honest. I thought it was spells of a little bit of inaccuracy by us, some very good play by them, but also supplemented by some excellent defensive sets by us and also some great attack. We scored 47 points against a team who we rate very highly, who were highly motivated. So we've got to be pleased with that. And I think it was a great stepping stone to get into Europe because it was exactly the type of game that we needed.
And just the last one from me, Leo said last week he wanted to see Harry in a big game, and he said obviously the Connacht game was a big game, but is there enough there that do you want to see him again in a big game that to see how his development is taken on another level, obviously in Champions Cup rugby?
Yeah, no, it's a competitive position though, isn't it? You've got his brother who's been excellent for us for a number of years now. You've got Johnny coming back, training at the end of the week. So it's a competitive position. I mean, the main thing that we focus on is getting the players to train effectively against each other. And that usually, for me, brings out form, fitness, and the cohesion and confidence that we need, both in individuals and in the team. And Harry's not really had that opportunity, with injuries at the start of the season. Obviously, he was away with Ireland for a period of time. So what we're looking for from Harry is an extended run of uninterrupted training and games, and he'll be more than competitive and has the quality to put his hat in the ring for any selection for sure.
Thanks, Stuart. Best of luck.
Hi, Stuart. Just on Dan Sheehan at the weekend with a wonderful try, and when I was watching, I was thinking that's a bit Ronan Kelleher-esque, and then obviously you have to realise that the two of them are in the same same team, and obviously playing from the same country. Just how good is it to have two hookers, same age profile, same sort of player profile, playing at the same level in the same team? Just that you can call on maybe 60 minutes of Kelleher, maybe he starts getting tired, then all of a sudden you bring on Sheehan. It's the same thing for the last 20 minutes. How do you feel to have just that 80-minute barrage of two players at a high quality, just playing at the sort of same level and just same style?
Yeah, no, it's there's some very good athletic forwards in the Leinster pack now, and Ronan and Dan are two players who epitomise what we want from our forwards. Good ball handlers, physical, abrasive, fit, and can play. They can play hooker, but they can play multi-positional roles in phase attack and phase defence. So, obviously it's great to have them, and they've got two very good hookers, in James Tracy and Sean Cronin to learn from as well. So it's not like, those two have just sort of fallen away. They're as competitive as the two lads. But no, it's great to see them both come through. I've watched them both come from fourth choice and being on the periphery and frustrated and not getting opportunities to force their way through to become first and second choice in whichever order you pick them. There's a lot of hard work gone into what they've achieved, and a lot of credit must go to the two lads in particular, but also to James and Sean for pushing them so hard as well. So it's a good position to be in. They're both exciting players, but they've both got a lot to learn still, and we'll keep their feet on the ground for sure.
Obviously another great time with Ireland, a great start to the season in general. At the weekend, I think he dropped the ball, and I was shocked because he dropped the ball. He doesn't usually do that, but other than that, he had quite a great game. He was good at carries as usual. Just that consistency that he's had for a year, 2 years. How important is that to have it in a 15 every week?
Yeah, no, he's been exceptional, really, and it's the growth in his ability off the ball that people obviously probably don't appreciate unless you watch the game live, and you see the bigger picture. And often on TV, you don't see the movement and the work he does, both in the backfield, but also as an extra attacking player. He's really trying to develop his understanding of when to join the line and be an extra ball player, or to be a strike threat. So he's really, he's working hard at every aspect of his game, and he's so diligent. He's got great speed, but also great speed endurance. But the most important thing that he's got is his feet on the ground and his capacity to learn and want to get better. And that's going to ultimately be his point of difference, because he's that hungry.
And just finally, Connacht have been kicking off season. Carricky and Hansen is a great combination. Obviously, in the first few minutes against Leinster, they combined. They got a try. It was a great try, fair. And they did that against Ospreys. They did that against Dragons. They've done that against everybody. But against Ulster, it was sort of the same thing where John Cooney would tighten the pack and then unleash the ball out wide into space. Do you think that learning from Ulster and how they attacked helped you against Connacht?
I think there were two very different teams and two very different styles that they played. I think that we were just a little bit off in the Ulster game, both in our contacts and in our set piece accuracy. We hadn't played for 4 or 5 weeks. I know they hadn't either, so it's not an excuse. But the reality was we were a little bit off, and even at 10-all, we had a chance to win the game. But we dropped off in that last 20 minutes, and Ulster deserved it. So sometimes you need that kick up the backside. And I thought there was a good reaction in training. I thought the Connacht game was a good response. And certainly going into Europe now, that's exactly the type of reminder that we need to be at our best every game, because for every team that plays against us, it's a huge motivation, and Bath will be no exception this weekend.
All right, thanks, Stuart. All the best.
Thank you.